Hey, happy Friday, everyone, and welcome to another week of Matchup Spotlight, the show where we take a in-depth, unbiased look at one of our marquee matchups. This week, we've got the Red Kingdom versus Smithereens. And so, big playoff implications for both teams as we wind our way down the season. Can't wait to see what happens in this matchup. So, let's get to the breakdown. All right from the beginning, can we just address the elephant in the room? The Red Kingdom and Adam are not happy with the way that their team is being portrayed in the power rankings, feeling like maybe they're not getting enough love, and I understand it. Look, Adam is the defending champion. He won both the regular season championship and the playoffs, so he is used to a lot of success. And when your team is flat out mediocre, it can be a tough pill to swallow. Now, I will fully acknowledge that Dave and I, we probably didn't spend enough time, we probably didn't do our due diligence looking at the power ranking standings of teams 5, 6, and 7, right? They're right there stuck in the middle, and to be honest, no one cares. We spend a lot of time looking at the top 4 teams and the bottom 4 teams because those teams have the most fluctuation and the most impact. And Adam, you're stuck right in the middle. You want to move up, win more. All right, that's all I'm going to say about that. And also, I'll just throw in the caveat: no one likes a whiner. Okay, so yeah, let's jump in and see where we stand. First off, at our quarterback position, we've got Patrick Mahomes versus Tua. Now, this is going to be a great matchup. We all know that Mahomes can go off any given week, and he's been excellent throughout the season. And so it'd be really easy to think, oh, advantage Adam. But let me tell you, all right, every single ball that Mahomes throws is going to go to Juju. And so there's going to be some counterbalance that's happening here on Adam's team. I do think that Mahomes is probably going to end up throwing about 5 touchdowns, but when they all end up going to somebody that's on the Smithereens team, that can be counterproductive. Whereas Tua, all of his touchdowns are going to be thrown to Hill. And so when Tyreek Hill's catching 5 touchdowns from Tua, that's going to make a big shift in the way that this matchup is going to end up going. So quarterback position, while it's going to be close, advantage Smithereens. Running backs. Now, this is where things get really dicey for the Smithereens. Obviously, he's had running back problems the entire season. We've got Alvin Kamara facing up against Connor. And Connor's only in his second week playing back after injury, and so it could be really tough to see him doing well. But Kamara's playing against that Pittsburgh defense. I think that he has been less than himself all season long. I don't see him doing big things. I think this could be a breakout game for Connor. So on that specific matchup, I say advantage Kevin. The second one, this one's scary because Algiers already played. He's played, and he got negative 17 receiving yards. That's tough to do. I mean, quit catching the freaking football, am I right? And then we got Williams from Detroit on Adam's side. I know that it seems impossible that how, with only 0.3 points from Algier, could anything good happen. But Chicago's defense is really, really good. I think a couple tackles in the backfield, a couple fumbles, and this thing could be rolling. Advantage Kevin, but we'll see. All right, we'll see. I'm not going to usually. Again, we said this is unbiased. Adam may get this one by a point or two, but I still have hope that with a few fumbles, we could still make our way on the positive side for this one. Wide receivers. Okay. I don't even have to talk about this. Jefferson, Hill, Schuster, those guys, no joke, have been putting up huge numbers. And then we've got guys on Adam's team that most people have never heard of. Okay. We've got McLaurin, Kirk, and Palmer. All right. And if Palmer's not a quarterback, no one's ever heard of him. We've heard of Christian Kirk, but his best days are behind him. And McLaurin, I've never heard of either. So expect a lot of gritties and a lot of this going on after this matchup. Advantage for the wide receivers, all landslide. Kevin, and that's really probably going to be the biggest factor on who wins this game, what happens here in this wide receiver matchup. And if Kevin can be like, I don't know, plus 60 or plus 70 from the wide receivers, I think that we'll look to see the Red Kingdom complaining in the chat again next week. Tight end, we've got Garrett Everett on Adam's team versus Kmet on Kevin's team. I dumped Everett, and then I was worried because Adam swooped him up a week ago, and I was like, man, he's going to pop off for Adam and do great. Well, he did horrible again last week because he is horrible. So advantage for this is Kevin all the way. Kmet came off of a big week last week. I swooped him up because my tight end before this was terrible as well, and so expecting big things. If he does anything, if he catches a single football, advantage Smithereens. Defense, we've got the Arizona defense going against the Rams, and so that's Matt Stafford in the bunch. And while Arizona's defense has been good and the Rams have been terrible, I look for that to be advantage Kevin, only because we've got the Raiders going against the Colts, and the Colts are terrible. Okay, mark my words, the Colts are terrible, so look for Vegas to have a huge score, and while Arizona will probably do fine, the advantage will end up being Smithereens. Kickers, Carlson versus Butker. Kansas City doesn't kick field goals because they score touchdowns, and again, we covered this earlier, all of those are going to be by Juju, okay, and so the Raiders, on the other hand, all they do is kick field goals. So this is simple. It's really easy. Advantage Smithereens. All in all, I like to usually make a prediction, see where this thing's going to end up. Adam is the toughest opponent that I've had since we started doing this matchup spotlight, so I want to give him the benefit of the doubt. All right? I feel pretty good about my lineup and some of those matchups, so I'm going to say that it's going to be somewhere around 140 to 60. That's what I would predict. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe you think different. If so, leave a comment down below and let us know what you think. But that is this week's matchup spotlight. Adam, I really do hope that after this week that I will be celebrating shirt off for the entire fantasy world to see. I want to shut you up. I hope that you drop even further in the power rankings, and I really hope that by the time this thing is all said and done, you're down with Danny, and we don't have to worry about you anymore. So, everyone, enjoy, have a great weekend, and we will see you all next week for another edition of Matchup Spotlight.